Hey everyone, this is Bradley Benner with Lead Gadget, and I have Brian Prins and Donald Van Fossen on with us today. We're going to do some training on Adsense. It's actually good for me because I know very little about Adsense, so I'm going to learn as we go. So what's up, Brian? What's up, Donald?
What's happening? What's happening? What's happening?
What's happening, Bradley?
All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and just take the screen, and Brian, I'm just going to do what you tell me to do. All right?
Very simple, really easy, Brad. We're going to start by letting people know basically how to sign up for AdSense is really simple and easy, guys. You go right to Google at AdSense, and when you go there, you'll see this page. And I should believe you see the Google Ads AdSense. And it says get the more value on your online content, blah, blah, blah. Google does all that stuff. And, Brad, if you go to the next page now.
So go ahead and hit the get started now.
Yep. Okay, because we're going to get started now, right, guys? And we're going to see select your Google account, and we're going to do an account sign in, and, because we have one already. Okay, and then we're going to sign in, and then it's going to ask you, well, as soon as it starts to ask you when it comes on the screen here. Sorry, Brandon, it went dark on my side.
You not seen it?
Okay, there we go. Then Brad, could you read it? Just read it real quick, just so.
Yeah, it says, tell us about your content, website information, and it says, I will show ads on, and it's asking to insert a primary URL, website URL.
Okay, so it would be www.myatmsite.com, in other words. You only need to put one in, guys. You do not need to go back and put every single website up every single time. You just got to have one website that you got out there and that you're putting up. Now it says the category homepage. You're selecting a language, I believe. That's what it says, doesn't it?
Yes.
So, of course, I believe most people are going to select English, though some people I know have been playing with Spanish as well as some other languages on their sites. I would suggest very much, if most of your sites that are going to be on are English, do it in English. If most of them are in Spanish, then do it in Spanish. Okay? Now, you've got your Google AdSense terms and policies and everything else. Brad, if you would put on there, just put any one of your site domains in the top so you can hit next.
Let me see. I'll put in.
Doesn't matter which one.
Let's see. Give me 1 second. Let me pause the screen for a moment. I'm going to find a site real quick. Just hit me 1 second. .com. There we go.
Now, guys, we're showing you, sites that we have, and we're doing this. I don't even think we're going to blur out.
All right. I'm going to hit continue. Oh, must have a path. Wait a minute. I'm going to have HTTP there.
Yeah, what's a full URL path?
URL must not have a path. Example or subdomain. Example.
Just wants a www on it.
Okay. Well, I don't have anything on the root, but that's okay. We'll go ahead and put it on anyways.
No, it's
right, very good. It took it, so let's keep moving.
Okay.
What'd you have in there first, Bradley? A subdomain?
Yep, subdomain.
I think sometimes it acts a little stupid sometimes when you try to use a subdomain, and a lot of times it wants the primary domain, so just make sure you use one of the primary domain. Even though it'll say that you can use a subdomain, it'll sometimes act stupid like that.
Okay.
Guys, in case you don't know, in the past, like I have fenceslocally.com, and then I have like aluminum.fenceslocally, wood.fenceslocally as the subdomains. You put in the main domain, just like Don just said, and like Brad just showed you as it was on the screen. They'll approve that one, and then you just add the other sites with the same pub code. You don't have to get an account or only one site on an account. Some people are not, they get confused with that. They don't understand. It's not a big deal. Okay, then you're going to fill out everything that's there. Really simple and really easy. I mean, Brad, you don't see any of this as being difficult. I don't think, right? You know
no,
what country you're from, right? You know what time zone you're in.
Do we
Okay?
select individual or business?
Now, if I was guys, if you have a business set up, I would definitely send the checks. Oh, well, it's not really a check; it's a wire. Okay, I would send it to your business. Okay, so the payee name would be my business dot, my business name, whatever, LLC, incorporated, whatever you have. Okay, of course, you're going to put the business street address, the business zip code, all the rest of it, the contact name and a contact phone number. How did you hear about AdSense? You could just turn around and put, right on Google. Yeah, there's no preferences or anything else. Then you're going to submit my application on the bottom. When you submit my application on the bottom, guys, I want you to be clear about this. You're not going to be approved in a day. It takes a minimum of 3 days.
Okay.
And there are some times where some of these accounts don't get approved for 3 weeks.
Thank you, guys. I was saying a minimum of 3 days. But we had one, Don and I had one, that was approved finally after 3 weeks, and we still haven't gotten a card for it. And the account has $600 or $700 into it now. And we just, for whatever reason, 3 times we tried to get the PIN card, and it wouldn't come through, so we just abandoned the account. It doesn't make a difference to us.
Yeah, just so they understand, Google's going to send you a card that's going to have a PIN code on it, because when they want you to,
verify
the account, they're going to verify the address, so they're going to ask you for that PIN code that they send to you that's on the card, and you're going to enter that inside your AdSense AdSense account when you're logged in.
Okay.
Now, guys, some people have been they've had AdSense accounts in the past, and for whatever reason, they've been shut down. Let me be very, very clear about this. That does not mean you will not be able to get another AdSense account. You think, oh my God, I don't have a street address for this. That does not mean you don't have a street address either. Let me be kind of clear on how you would do this. Everybody knows an apartment building has apartment numbers in it, and business complexes, commercial buildings have suites in them, or office numbers. If you turn around and took your home address, for an example, where your business is located, and we're going to say it's 123 Main Street, and you put the letter A after the 123, it just changed the address. If you made it 123A Main Street, Suite 1B, and that was your house, the postman would still know to hand you the mail, okay? Especially because your name is on it or your business name is on it. He knows it matches it. Do not worry.
And you can do different things as well, like when you have 123 Main Street, you can do 123 Main Street for one, 123 Main ST for another.
Oh, yeah. Make no mistake about it, guys. The slightest change that you put in there makes it a new address in the mind of Google. When you, like I do, 123A through Z, it doesn't matter. I'll put suite numbers. I've got 12 accounts listed at the same address, all with different suite numbers. Just like it's different business address in there. Think about it. An office building has how many offices in it. It's the same thing. And that's why that little change doesn't mean anything. So, it's going to ask you about your content and things like that. Don't worry about it. It's really easy. Just fill it out normally. Don't try and hide anything. Don't make it, like, oh my goodness, my content's going to be wrong. It doesn't make a difference. Brad, could you show my carport site? The one there? Okay, guys. We put Easy AdSense. We brought the website up so you guys would see it. And we did that because, just for time essence. Now, this is one that I have. It's real simple. You guys have probably seen it in a couple other webinars before. It's very easy. And you can see the ads that are on there, correct?
This one here.
You see the ads that are in here? There's 3 of them. It's because we use a plugin called Easy Adsense. We really like it. It makes life really good. Now, this is on the regular theme. And I got to tell you something. Todd Basham, who was supposed to be on today, who is it? He's got a CTR theme that he used with Andres. Andres did some testing, and he's got a CTR theme. It's a pretty simple one, I believe. Right, Don? The one that he's got that Andres uses?
The one that Andres uses, I believe, is just called CTR theme. So
right. You know, and it doesn't cost you anything. Because there are themes that are made for AdSense that help.
Well, the CTR theme, I think, to get the good one of it, I think the CTR theme actually costs some money. There was also one that was
but don't you get it with a license, Don, for unlimited use?
Right. But I think you still have to pay for it the first time. Is what I'm saying. I don't think it was a free theme, but.
Oh, wait, but it couldn't. It surely isn't that much money, guys. You know, I really don't know what it is. I haven't looked it up, to be honest, because you see what I use. I don't hide it.
Yeah, this site right here, what you're looking at right now, is straight out of the ATM, and it's a 2012 theme. So, and it's responsive. If you check it on the Google Webmaster Tools or anything else, if you look it up, you can check in Google. You can put down check my site and for mobile ready Google Webmaster Tools.
It's called the mobile friendly test tool.
Yeah, mobile friendly test tool. There you go. And if you check it on there, you'll find that the 2012 theme's also responsive and passes the test. So you shouldn't have any problem with that, because I know a lot of people are going to be saying something about the mobile ready.
We're freaking out about it. So let's just go ahead and tell them on this while we're here.
Today's April 21st, guys. The date Google is de-indexing, minimizing
from mobile search.
Yeah, all the mobile business and everything else.
See how this one says awesome, this page is mobile friendly, and this is straight out of the ATM. You guys see that?
Okay. Really simple it is. I knew it would be. But guys, you don't have to worry. So it is. But here's the bottom line, guys. Whatever you use, you got to be happy with it. It's not what I say or what somebody else says or what this guy uses or what that guy uses. We're just telling you what we use. I'm showing you what we use. Okay? I mean, it's been around for a while, and I make a pretty decent dollar.
Here's the thing. When you have some of those CTR themes and stuff, there are ways that you can test and tweak and be able to increase your conversion. We don't sit there and worry about so much of increasing each one of these sites' conversion, because we build mass sites. We build so many of them that we're not like one of the people that is going to sit there and just test and tweak one simple site just to see how many times we can get how good we can get the click-through rate on it. We're going to keep building sites instead of wasting time with that when it comes to AdSense. Passive income, build a lot of sites, you make a lot of money.
That's it. Just think about it, guys. I mean, I know, honestly, Don and I looked yesterday at some of the other sites we have that are getting an enormous amount of traffic, okay, but they're not getting a lot of clicks. Yeah, I could optimize them, and I could do this, and CTR themes, all those, but let me ask you a question. For the 15 and 20 minutes it takes to do each site to change it over, how many ATM sites can you build? I know I can build another, if not two more sites in that same amount of time. So I just keep loading them up and loading them up and loading them up, and who cares? I mean, that's me. I'm not telling you to follow that instruction. I'm just telling you what I do. Okay, so this way you guys understand that nobody should be saying that you're doing things wrong. Don and I have been doing this for years. Okay, Andres has been doing it for years. Andres loves to play, and he gets a lot of respect from Don and I for that, because he does a lot of testing, you know, to see if he could make it better for some shaker people.
There's a time when I tested things so much that I would actually sit there and do changes and refresh the page and refresh Google results and check this stuff so many times during the day that I spent my whole days with Google. Now I'm a little older now. I don't have the patience for it like I used to. Andres is younger than me. He has the patience for that, and he does a lot of testing, and he likes to get the CTR as much as he can, get it up as much as he can. For those of you that want to do that and want to spend the time doing that, that's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with it, like Brian is saying. It's just this is what we do. We build more. That's all.
That's it. We just keep adding. Now, Todd Basham happens to be a great friend of Gadget, the ATM, Andres, Don, and myself specifically. He really likes Brad as well. And I'm going to tell you a little something that I know I can say with him. He is doing 5 figures. I am not at liberty to say what he's doing and how, and the niches and everything else. Don't even bother asking him because he's not going to tell you. But I can tell you this, guys. We have niches upon niches. There are sub-niches within niches. As an example, Bradley brought up one about estate cleanouts a long time ago. Brad, you want to tell them how that one came about and how funny that was to figure that one out?
Yeah, well,
that one doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't. And a painting contractor, somebody that I do local SEO services for, contacted me about looking into doing some lead gens for him for estate cleanout services. Because it's a several $1,000.
One sec, Brett. It almost sounds like you're saying state, so we're just saying estate.
Estate. E-S-T-A-T-E. Estate.
Yeah, in the video, it just comes over and almost sound like state. So I just want to make sure people were clear.
Like when somebody dies and they leave an estate, and somebody has to come in and clean the house, and they have to remove furniture, then they have to repair the house, and that's where it opened up this huge can of. It went down this rabbit hole of all the different ways to monetize, starting with the very first lead, which would be estate cleanout. But in doing keyword research and looking into that niche, I found that the cleanout terms has a bunch of stuff. I mean, there's like estate cleanout, there's attic cleanout, garage cleanout, basement cleanout, junk removal, furniture removal. I mean, it just was like, wow. There's a lot of different ways to monetize that niche.
Hey, guys, those are all the sub-niches. When you read about Google giving you a quality score on your site, the main part of the quality score is the content. So if you're optimizing your content with these keywords, especially using them in the ATM, putting them in a short code and taking the short code afterwards and putting it within the content, so you're making sure you're using them efficiently, all these keywords within that content, then you're going to get a better quality score.
Yeah, let's touch on that real quick. I know there's going to be some people out there that run AdWords campaigns, and they're going to be like, what the heck are you talking about, quality score for AdSense? I know typically a quality score has to do with how your page is scored when you're doing paid traffic to that page. But the AdSense itself, Google has an internal quality scoring for it based on the content that's on the site. So you don't actually get to see it really, but it's there.
And part of that you'll notice is you will get larger paying ads when you look at your daily clicks, how much you get. If you're getting a bunch of ads that are only paying 18 cents on one site, and you look on a very similar site, let's just say it's a carport site, and then this carport site is paying you $1.20, but this carport site is only paying you 20 cents, you screwed up on the one that's paying you 20 cents. Okay?
And a lot of times your CTR, etc., like that, your click-through rate and stuff like that can play a role in your actual payout. But unless you see something where you're getting traffic on a site, and the site actually has a lot of advertisers in it, and your pay is just abysmal, then that might be a site you want to check on and try to see if you can do something for the CTR on it. But
okay. Now I'm going to move it ahead a little bit because we don't need to talk about that in depth. You guys can ask questions in the Facebook group, and we'll be happy to answer them. I'm sure there'll be other people that'll answer them as well from what their findings are as well. Now, Brad, could you go in the back end of carports now?
Right here.
Admin. Guys, inside of every ATM build, you will see that easy plugin for AdSense is in there. You hit the settings. Okay, if you hit the settings on there, you guys will see, scroll it, Brad, but scroll it quick because I don't want the pub code out. It doesn't even matter. The guys can see it. It wouldn't matter. Okay, if you look inside the boxes, guys, you take your code and you put it in, then you go to the bottom, okay, and you just hit the save changes, just follow the instructions. I mean, this is like really simple stuff. None of this, you need any kind of nerd degree 101. You don't have to have technical degree 202, and you darn sure don't need anything after that. This is all really easy to put together. You can put 1, 2, or 3 blocks of ads in, because that's all you're allowed anyways, up to 3, and that's all that's on here. So we've made it very simple for you to turn around and put AdSense on your site. This is a free plugin, though they do have a paid aspect and paid stuff in there if you like, or donations and everything else. But it comes with every single ATM bill. If you don't want to use it, you don't have to. What will happen? What else happens with AdSense that people have asked me in the past is, Brian, when I launch the site and I do the cleanup, can I put my publisher code in and then turn the AdSense on before the site gets indexed? The answer is unequivocally no. Without a question, no. Do not do it at all.
Here's the reason we're saying that, too, because Brian's probably going to touch on this, but the thing is, when your site is brand new and the crawlers start hitting it, you're going to have a lot of crawlers hitting that, and every time the page loads, most of these bots nowadays will actually activate the JavaScript, which is also the AdSense code. So you're talking about all of a sudden you have a site that you just put out there with AdSense on it. It has 30,000 pages. They're all getting crawled. You've got 30 billion hits coming back to Google as far as your pages being viewed, and that's just kind of a negative sign right there. All of a sudden to Google, you don't want to throw up any red flags when you don't need to.
Yeah, Google doesn't realize that it's actually activating itself. That's what's happening. Google is activating itself. Okay, so don't worry about it, guys.
How many?
Just give it
I've got
about
a
7
question.
days or something, to get it indexed, and then turn your Easy AdSense on. Go ahead, Bradley.
I had a question. How many? If you're just starting with a new AdSense account, about how many sites can you put in your account safely, and when should you open a second account?
You want to know something? That's a great question, Brad. I was actually going to touch on that in another minute, but I'll actually deal with that right now. You can put 1 million sites safely into your account. Now, that's a pretty bold statement, 1 million sites. Well, it's not the amount of sites that is what is the problem. It's the dollar amount. Guys, you do not want any more than, at 5,000 is the big trigger. So I don't ever let an account get above 4,000, 3,800 to 4,000. That's Manual Review Central. They will go through your account and go through every site that they are showing inside of your AdSense pub code. And it's been found that it's actually in a certain 3-day period that they do that. That if you get chosen for manual review, it happens. And a lot of people that are driving traffic and unjustifiable other things to certain sites, they actually turn their AdSense off during the end of the 3rd week of the month, because that's when they usually do the manual reviews. I couldn't care. They can manually review my stuff whenever. It's not going to change. We don't bother with the ATM because the ATM sites are ATM sites. They're very easily built. Okay, we send them out. You can go in there and change the look, change the theme, change the header, change the colors, add more graphics, make it prettier, do whatever. It isn't going to change. ATM sites are basically city-state sites for us in the U.S., the ones that I built. They're all U.S.-based. And all of these sites, guys, they're all the same, and I've already passed the manual review with 2 of my accounts, not 1, 2 of them. So I don't care. I'm really at the point where it doesn't bother me at all.
Well, the one thing that you were talking about a manual review, but the thing is, there's been 7 accounts activated with ATM sites. So there were some people asking, well, they're saying that there's no way these are going to pass the review when you for an activating of an account, and these have already passed.
Listen, the activation's the easiest thing. That's basically automated. You don't really get a manual review once in a blue moon, but it doesn't matter. You know, sometimes if they ask you to give them another website, that's because yours is really bad.
Well, the suggestion would be, like you see on the carport site, add a header to your site. You know, make sure you got an image in it when you're building it, so that it, you know, at least looks like some kind of a normal blog. I mean, a lot of times when we're doing stuff where we're driving traffic, we're building traffic funnels or something and driving traffic somewhere, then we don't care about it. But for an AdSense site, you want it to at least look like something that somebody's building and managing and taking care of a little bit.
Okay, very good.
Yeah. Because, guys, you're going to find some of your sites get a huge amount of traffic, and some of your sites don't get a huge amount of traffic. The ones that don't get a huge amount of traffic, okay, they're going to get less money on the clicks and all the rest. Use WP Overlayer and send it to the sites that get a lot of traffic that get a higher pay on the click, too. There's the best advice I can give you. What to do with a site that is not doing well. One that is financially doing poorly, the way to increase the monetization is turn WP Overlayer on. When you turn Overlayer on, send it to a site that is doing better. Okay, real simple. That's it. It's not a lot, but send it to a site.
The only thing I'll warn you about is, we don't worry about the manual reviews, but if that site got manually reviewed, there's a good chance that they would do something about it, because you can't show AdSense ads in iframes and stuff. But it's a game we all play. If you're going to play the game, you know, you got to be able to take some risks sometimes too as well. But and another thing is, though, a lot of times these sites, you might have some sites that get a lot of traffic and they're actually showing relevant ads, but they really don't make a lot of money. Look for another type of offer and use WP Overlay and forget about AdSense on those ones.
Right.
You know, and guys, so you realize we change pub codes because we have I've got about 7 active AdSense accounts right now. And like I have one that only gets about $300, $400, $500 in. Financially, but it has probably, I don't know, 150 sites in it. And the reason is because you have to test, when you use WP Overlayer, you got to remember it's going to shoot a lot of backlinks. So what it could do is it could degrade a site that was doing well in the SERPs. So you got to watch certain things. Sometimes I just send it through a double. I actually just let it loop through itself. But it doesn't matter. Whatever happens, your biggest and best AdSense accounts should be protected. Only with your best sites. The ones that are doing the most money. And don't do anything to them. Make sure that they're clean. So take those sites when they're doing really well, put your good pub code in there, and leave them alone and let them be. And just let them be.
I have another question.
Yep.
If you have a site that you're also, like, for example, generating leads with, or doing lead capture, like has an opt-in form and you're giving away a PDF, you're trying to build an email list, for example, can you also have AdSense on that site as well?
Absolutely.
You can have AdSense on that site, and I know Brian has done this stuff as well before. Now, I'm one of those people with the notion that if you're going to work on converting people into leads, or you're going to work in building a list, then you should do everything you can to make sure that that conversion process works better and not try to drive traffic somewhere else.
Right. Okay.
But and a lot of people, they don't spend when you're doing, you know how it is, Bradley, when you're doing the lead generation, or you're doing the or you're trying to build a list. A lot of times you're trying to make that conversion, that page or whatever you're displaying on it convert really well. Now, a lot of times that's why we do stuff with WP Overlayer. When I said we have a lot of sites that we just build traffic funnels for, then with the Overlayer plugin, we're showing a site that we've already got the conversion process down, and that page converts really well, so you show that page on every site.
Gotcha.
Don just told you, like he likes to optimize. If you're a call with the EDU sites, guys, We said don't put AdSense on them and this because why would you do that? Why would you want to draw somebody to an AdSense click for $1 when you're trying to get X dollars to them? With the lead for the college.
Yeah,
Well,
end up with $1.20 when you could have had like $13 just doesn't make any sense.
It really doesn't. But you want to know what I did? I threw it on a bunch just to see what would happen. And I'll tell you the honest to God truth, guys. The smartest, there were a couple of people that clicked the links. Okay, I was still getting the conversions. And then I realized I went and I followed the rabbit hole. I went down the rabbit hole. And those AdSense that you got paid $1 on, now the guy had to fill out the same exact form on the other guy's AdSense site that he paid for, okay, to get a $13 conversion or a $14 conversion. So it cost him $3 or $4 or $5 with Google, and he made $10. So you're basically letting somebody make the money you should have made. And that's when I took it off. I took the AdSense off.
Okay.
Okay? But there are other offers and other options that you absolutely, positively want to put both on there. Now, I'm going to give you guys a little hint on some niches that you might want to think about. Because I got 99 problems, but a niche ain't one. And the fact of the matter is, guys, you got to think of things that are out of the ordinary. Do not think of stupid things like this carports that I got up. I did this just to show people. That's why I don't care about them and I'm showing. These sites don't pay a lot of money. I mean, yes, I make on carports, I make about $8 to $12 a day on carport sites. Now, you might say that's a lot of money. It sounds good. It's $250, $350 a month. But there are a lot of small niches that are very abstract and out of the ordinary, and I don't mean lawyer niches, that are paying $35 to $110 a click. And you're going to ask me, well, give up some of them, like tell us, and I can't. I've already promised certain people that I've spoken to that I will not expose these niches. But I will tell you this. If you think of things like natural disasters, if you think of things like Hurricane Sandy, you will, that we had, there were a lot of people needed a lot of products and services. Those kind of things that you do and you're looking for, those are the kind of things that are going to pay a lot of money. But here's the problem, guys. They don't click them every day. So you have to make a choice when you build your site. Do you want to get a lot of money over time, or do you want to get a little bit of money every day so you know you're going to get a check, a wire transfer every month from Google? Because on the 22nd or the 23rd of every month, Google wires their money right to your account. Mass wire right to the accounts. I am going to make the suggestion to you guys that you try and get clicks that are between $1 and $5 on each click on a daily basis.
I'm going to make a suggestion that you don't go after lawyers, you don't go after doctors, you don't go after all that stuff. You do start thinking a little bit more abstract and out of the ordinary. And for one, and don't do things like, I was on an AdSense site just recently, and the whole AdSense site was about DVDs. Okay, that makes more. Now, if you were going to do something for DVDs, that makes more sense to me than an Amazon site for DVDs. Because if you sold a DVD off of an Amazon site, the cookie only lasts 24 hours, so you have to make the conversion right there, and it's only going to pay you about 80 cents for a $20 friggin' DVD. So you probably made $1.20 off the click off the guy that was advertising. So. In those kind of cases, yeah, I would probably do that. But try to think abstract.
Now, I do have Roger Gonzalez, who, as everybody knows, is very active in the Facebook group, is an awesome guy. He finds these little tools and these little lists. He gave a niche list to me a while back, and he didn't put it out for everyone. I'm going to turn around and I'm going to poll probably 30 to 50 out of the 500 that are in there easily. Just so guys will have like a little idea list. This isn't mean, oh, quick, run to these niches. This means that it's an idea list. Guys, all we want you to do is have another way to monetize your sites on the ATM. The more ways we give you to monetize the sites, the more money you can make. But here's the bottom line. If you don't take action, then you will not make any money. You need to take action.
And I just want to get people thinking different things besides dog training every day, just because I see it in forums and blogs all the time.
So let me ask you, Don. You sent me a screenshot to share. Where does that come into play? And should I share that now?
Yeah, go ahead and show that because I'll talk about that real quick. One of the big problems that's great for the advertiser but bad for the advertisee or the affiliate, the person that when you're slowing ads on your site, is there something called retargeting. It's great for the advertiser because when somebody hits a site that's showing their ads, your browser's actually cookied. And when you go on other ads, you might be on one ad. Okay, well, let's say dog training. You might have showed up on a site for dog training, and now all of a sudden you're looking at a site about Audi cars or Audi cars. When you go to that site, you start seeing dog training ads on it instead of instead of things that are related to cars, right? And one of the ways you can try to lower that, and this won't stop it, because it's you just can't get it to stop, but you can actually cut it to at least a minimum, is if you go into your AdSense account and you click on Allow and Block Ads, and then you look at the tab there that says Ad Serving, you'll see that on the top it says User-Based Ads. Interest-based ads, show ads based on user interest categories and allow the use of, which I'd say,
visitation.
Sorry, it's so small on mine. Visitation information from my site to help
create interest categories.
Bottom line, guys, is just turn it off.
So turn that off. But then you've got the second one that I've also got in that block as well. That one you should experiment with. Like, in other words, if you're having a problem with really low payouts, turn that second one off as well and let it run for a few days and see if it actually changes for you.
I'm curious though, because if somebody, and again, I definitely think it's worth testing. I'm totally new to AdSense, but it says third-party ads use advertisers' audience information to deliver more relevant ads on my sites, which means if a visitor comes to your site and they've been cookied from a retargeting pixel from some other site, won't it display ads on your site that should interest them?
The problem is when you think about it as a visitor, I was interested in finding a bunch of information about dog training, but at the moment I'm sitting here looking at something about cars that I want to know about. My mind's already changed from dog training to cars, so if I was showing more car-related ads, then there's a likelihood that I'm going to get more clicks than me saying, well, I was looking at that dog training stuff yesterday. Now I'm sitting here reading about this Audi. Maybe that's a pattern interrupt, but that's like a super pattern bang in the head interrupt. I think that doesn't make a lot of sense at the time when somebody's in a different frame of mind.
Okay.
All right, listen, guys. We could spend another hour talking about this stuff. We're going to put this out. There's going to be a thread, and I'm sure that a lot of people are going to really have a lot of comments and thanking and all the rest. And we appreciate the thank you. Don't get it wrong. But let's just leave this whole thread that's going to be into to comments back and forth so people can really get to learning on AdSense, because passive income is the best. I mean, every month I know that the 22nd, 23rd of the month, there's going to be a bunch of money dropping in the bank that'll cover the mortgage, and it's coming from AdSense. There are some people that are out there like Todd who have optimized everything, and they do 5 figures plus. Okay, I know for a fact. I have seen some of my customers' AdSense accounts, and I saw one that had a $178,000 payout. And I'm going to tell you something, guys. When I saw that, I almost flipped. Okay? I want you guys to remember, the normal is a couple of $1,000. I've seen many people with $10,000 and $15,000 payouts a month. I've seen a couple of dozen that have been in the 40 and 50,000 range. Only the one with the 178. I'm not going to say there's been more than that.
Wow.
But what I am going to tell you is just stay with it, guys. You'll make a ton of money with it. It's going to be a little while. Just reinvest in it, and it'll be fine. Listen, my name is Brian Prince. For Don Van Fossen, for Bradley Benham, we thank you for listening to us. We thank you for following us. We thank you for being members of Lead Gadget, the ATM, and Brain Matter Hosting. And we assure you, we're going to give you many more ways to monetize your sites. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.
Awesome, guys. Thanks. See you.